Well, hello, welcome back, and thanks again for listening and for sharing the weekly Monday Motivation Podcast, No More Excuses. And, just to add one more layer, when you do share it, see if you can hashtag No More Excuses. I really appreciate it, and I always say that I always say thanks again when I start these out, but I do watch the stats, and it's flattering seeing the stats increase and the responses and just where people are listening. And so, continue to email me where you are or post in the comments section. Email me sballard, like Sandi Ballard, sballard@growingforward.biz, B-I-Z, or post here where you are listening to this, in what city, state, all that fun stuff. And I really appreciate getting the emails with questions, with comments, and the couple people that did get to take advantage of that free 30-minute phone call to talk through some challenges. And something else I want to share is a testimonial I received. I'm clicking over so I can read that. I received this the end of May, actually, after a few weeks of via email working with someone and other social media outlets. And he said, I took the advice from the podcast and have begun to outlay the specifics in the work ethic where at his job, he's a chef in North Carolina, and that work ethic improved about knowing the difference of job duties versus descriptions. And he also said he's one that we talked through a lot of stuff because he'd been knocked off kilter. And he said, you're literally saving careers and lives. You saved me from my self-detriment. You're fucking awesome, Taskmaster. Healthy living is the best living. So that's super cool to me. Love it. Last week was about collaboration. It can be a fantastic and a great way to grow. Bring in different talents, skill sets, products that align with your goals and values and mission, vision, all that. And new connections, networks. As long as, do you recall what I said? As long as everyone knows and does their fair share. Boundaries, expectations. You set them up, kind of like upfront contract. It is an upfront contract. As long as boundaries and expectations are set up in the beginning and they're followed through. If it's a great idea for you that someone has for you, or so they think, but they don't do anything to help, perhaps just looking forward to reaping some of the rewards, then how is that collaboration? The whole, you should, have you thought of, you should do this kind of thing. And what happens if they don't do what they said or you thought they would do? What if you don't have that upfront contract? Or even if you do and shit goes sideways. It can go sideways fast. And many times it's unfortunate that it is family and friends and that come to you with these ideas or these things, even connections. They don't have to be friends and family. It could just be a connection or a client or someone you're talking with about what you're doing. Then there's that when it doesn't go well, when shit goes sideways, there's the tension, frustration, regret, avoidance, and potentially even loss. It could be financial loss. It's obviously a loss of time because you might have to go back to where you were, but there's definitely a chance where you feel like you're off track, you're totally lost, and what do you do now? You look back and ask yourself, how did I let this happen? Perhaps I knew better. Perhaps, how did I get so far off track before I noticed this? How did I get so far or so lost and far away from my goals and what's important to my life, to me? Like I read the testimonial from him. He got one decision took him down a nasty path. And much like, him with that, it can be one decision, one just negative thought, one negative person, and it can happen just so quickly. The unsure decision, the idea, and, as we all like to call it, failure. It only takes one thing to knock you off kilter. But it only takes one positive thought, one positive conversation, connection to get you back on track, reset, and up on top again, right? We've all been there. Even me recently. I got a text from someone in my personal life, and it got in my head. And I had to fight myself, my head trash. It took hours of just me trying to think through what was meant, to pull myself out of that place where my thoughts and my mindset, were taking me. And earlier that day, I had a conversation with a client about mindset and being kind to yourself and managing your thoughts and believing in yourself, your skills, your talents, enough to understand that one person, one comment, as easy as it is, personally and professionally, to take your energy, ruin your day, just suck that good mojo and momentum out of you. You have to, it just takes me remembering that conversation with that client, that it wasn't going to take my whole existence, okay? It's just one. And there's going to be more ones. But I'm so thankful I had that conversation, that client call earlier in that day. As I was helping her, little did I know that later that evening, that conversation would help me too. These things are going to happen, like I said, both personally and professionally, but they're intertwined. You start doubting yourself. You start wondering what if. You start ruminating. You start just thinking all the negative shit that could possibly happen. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should have done this. So this week, think about one thing that threw you off track, that got you lost. And how did you refocus? Maybe you haven't. But how did you refocus and get back on track? Because you have the power, all right? You have the power to change your thoughts. You're the one. It took one to get you off. It can take only one to get you back on. Like I said, it is really the power of one. And if it's consistent, negative or shitty comments, then we really need to talk and dig a little deeper. But for the most part, it's just, there's that saying, there's always one, right? But when that comment knocks you down, only one thought, one comment or conversation can help you get back up. So if you haven't gotten back up, definitely need to schedule that call with me. Email me, sballard@growingforward.biz. Connect with me again, Instagram, Taskmaster Sandi with an I, LinkedIn, Twitter, slballard13, and Facebook, Growing Forward Success Coaching. Not .biz, just Facebook is Growing Forward Success Coaching. Again, email me, sballard@growingforward.biz. I want to hear what's one thing. It could have been years ago, and you're rocking and rolling still now, but it's there. You've got to just always manage that one self-doubt moment because of some fool ass that tries to take away your energy. All right? They're always going to be there, but there's always that one that will help you get back through. And if you need me to, let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great week. Cheers.